Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Peavy with iCar's Technical Operations. I have with me today Dirk Fuchs and Bud Center, who are also directors within our Technical Operations. We're at our Appleton, Wisconsin Tech Center, and we want to talk to you a little bit about a big project that we have. As many of you know, in Appleton, Wisconsin, where our Tech Center's been for many years, we do research. We build courses and do a lot of our curriculum development. We have a team of subject matter experts that are working within our shop and in our lab areas. And we've just recently announced that we will be building a second, much larger tech center in the Chicagoland market. So, we really want to just talk to you about what we're doing and why we're doing it. Most of you don't have to be reminded that the vast amounts of technical advancements and changes that are happening is really causing us to need a lot more room, a lot more resources and people, and it's really an interesting time as we work with the ADAS calibrations, work with electric vehicles, work with collision repair procedures. We still do a lot of work with welding and others, but I'll just start down here with you, Dirk. Talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah, I think iCar created this term technical tsunami, and I think that's where we are right now. When I'm looking into the EV world, when I'm looking into the ADAS world, I think you had a presentation, Jeff, where you announced how many new vehicles entering, electric vehicles entering.
Yeah, it was about 115 over the next 30 months.
30 months. So when you understand what we're getting into it, and I'm from Europe, so in Europe the electric vehicle population is a little bit higher right now than here in the United States, but we come to it. So we have to be prepared, and we have to. Technician safety is always that what we're talking about. So how we make the technician safe, and he has the right knowledge and understanding about everything around electric vehicles, and for that we need space. And this is the most important thing why we're doing it. We need space. We have to quarantine vehicles, batteries. We need an area where we can store those batteries, what is so important and dangerous actually. And there is so much things more and more. Why is this the reason? But on the ADAS side, you can dive there a little bit more in.
Well, yeah, we all know that Dirk's always stuck on EV. His brain just goes to EV and stays there.
That's why he's here.
But there's so much more to why we're opening this second facility. All of the advancements in vehicle technology, everything from advanced driver assistance systems, joining techniques, types of materials, repair procedures. All of those things that we need to continue to get ahead of, stay ahead of, doing our research and then course development for the industry so that everybody's trained when this stuff hits the market.
I want to add to that. As we've announced this, a lot of people instantly think that we're building like a big collision repair shop, and we're really not. We're building a purpose-built facility for what we do. And we make reference, sometimes you'll hear us make references to labs. So we'll have an electric vehicle lab, and we also will have a lab dedicated to ADAS calibrations. You want to talk a little bit about that?
So the ADAS lab is going to be something that's highly specialized. We'll have, for example, there will be an alignment machine that'll be a pit in the floor. We'll have a section of the ADAS lab that'll have a floor that is perfectly level and flat so that we can perform the procedures the way that the vehicle makers are recommending they're done, but we can also kind of start to do the research to understand why that's so important. If we're on a floor that has a slight slope, what is the difference? What is the difference in the way the systems calibrate and they react post-calibration? We'll be able to research that kind of stuff and then get that information out to the industry so they understand.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I know one of the things that we were adamant about too is efficiency, because we have so much work to do. There's so much that we have to do, and we need the space. We need to be able to do it efficiently, whether it's videotaping some new vehicle or some new technology for either a course or for our repairability technical support group that we have in our RTS portal, or whatever it is. We need to be able to do it efficiently. So I know we talk about this lab concept having all of the tools and equipment relevant to that particular technology in that space, so we can be as efficient as possible. I think this is going to be a really interesting project.
So one of the other things that everybody will start to see is our just-in-time videos, right? We're going to start, as we're doing some of this ADAS calibration research and some of the things that we're doing in this lab, we'll create these videos that will go out via social media or an iCar app or something along those lines so that we can get it out to the industry, because any of us that have spent any time in vehicle service procedures, they're sometimes tough to follow.
Yeah.
Tough to understand, and you have to be able to follow the trail through those procedures, and by creating these videos, we'll be able to help people understand how to interpret these procedures and what it means. This is the procedure says this is how you do that.
Yeah.
And
The
we'll be
most
able to,
important thing, what we didn't point out here is, in my opinion, we're creating a space that we learning about this technology. We don't. We have to learn everything, what is behind this technology, how it reacts when it fails. We can only train and provide the best training material to the industry when we are experts in those fields. And that is what we have to become.
Right.
And that, in my opinion, this space, the equipment what we have, everything will enable us to really become to this and learning about everything. We do a great job in Appleton right now in doing it, but the space limitation what we have, and this is really the truth, limits us a little bit in our capabilities. So
you're 100% right, because performing this type of repairs, whether it's EV or ADAS, if everything goes as planned, it's simple.
Yeah.
It's what do you do when it doesn't go as planned?
Exactly.
How do you react? How do you diagnose? How do you do that? That's the learning that we'll have.
As a new technology shows up on the horizon, we don't have the luxury to sit and wait until we figure out if it's going to become mainstream or not. We have to go to it, begin to learn it, and prepare in case it does in fact become mainstream, we will already have the training, the understanding, and all the things to be able to support collision repairers and insurers and all of the segments of the industry, so that when it does, if it becomes mainstream, the knowledge, skills, information necessary to do a complete, safe, and quality repair for the ultimate benefit of the consumer is there, ready for them. So it's really about the embodiment of our vision and mission and core beliefs and values, and I think that that's going to be really important. We probably need to remember to talk about, I think it's a really important aspect of it, is this facility is actually really close to O'Hare Airport. It's very easy accessibility to it. And talk a little bit about why that's important.
Well, we're going to have custom training that comes out of this facility. So anything that we develop, whether it's ADAS, EV, three-dimensional polling, or whatever it is, we'll have the additional space to do this live hands-on training. We'll have at least 3 different classrooms in the building. We'll have the ability to have these labs transform into other things. We'll have the space for the research and development for assisting manufacturers with repair procedures, things like that.
That's a good point too, because part of it is through these classrooms, whether we're doing some sort of OEM program or whatever, if you're in the classroom, you'd have a classroom assigned to a lab. You'd have big screens in the classroom that will be coordinated with the big screens out in the lab, so you can be working on the vehicle and still seeing the presentation or the information. I think that's really kind of cool.
Yeah, and we want to be the hub for the collision community to host their events, to host training classes, and so on. And I'm really excited about it.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because our intent as well is to open the facility up. If anyone in the industry is needing space to have a meeting, certainly reach out to us and schedule that. And again, having it convenient to O'Hare Airport is a big plus. So I think that's really important. I'm glad you guys brought that up. We're really going to try to keep the industry informed along the progress of this build out, and this thing is being built for the collision repair industry and really by the collision repair industry, so we'll keep everybody abreast, and so stay tuned.